Hey there guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Let's do a list of Dior fragrances, and I have here about 10 fragrances that I own. There are definitely more than these fragrances. I had few more Dior's higher. I have a small miniature of Dior Eau. I have few other fragrances, discontinued ones, but today I'm not going to show you the niche ones. That I also have some niche miniatures. I'm not going to show you those. Just going to rank the designer ones, more designer side. Couple of them here are discontinued, but I'm going to show you from my collection what I feel about Dior fragrance. I don't think I've done this list. You can feel anyway. All these Dior fragrances are really, really great, but these are my personal choice. So this varies from people to people, right? So I have one honorable mention, which is the one of the discontinued fragrances. And once more, before you judge me, I actually feel this is my taste. Your taste can be absolutely reversed, and you can feel the number 10 could be your number 1. And if you see some of them missing, I'll talk about one fragrance in particular that's missing. I have it, that belongs to my friend, but I didn't put it in the list because I didn't feel that was like that really won my heart over this 10. Okay, so the honorable mention, only one I'm going to show you today, Fahrenheit Absolute. Why this honorable mention? This fragrance, it's not that versatile. This is one of the first oud based fragrance in designer game that sort of like brought something like M7, and this one, I think these are the two fragrances that sort of like started that oud trend in a fragrance, designer perfume. This one has that Fahrenheit DNA, but this one also have some darkness. It's very mature, it's very daring. It's even more so daring than the original Fahrenheit. I think this one has oud, incense, and I think sort of oud wood. Okay, and then there's also myrrh. Okay, so kind of dark, kind of spicy, mysterious oud based perfume, Fahrenheit Absolute. Give it a try. I mean, it's a collector's item, very long lasting, and I love wearing it with a leather jacket in winter time. That's my honorable mention. So let's go from 10 all the way to 1. Number 10, this is Dior. Basically doesn't have that many range of designer products. Whatever they have, I bought, like I don't have everything, so I'm ranking the ones I have. Okay, number 10 is Dior Homme Cologne. If you are a little bit disappointed, like where is Dior Homme Sport? I used to have Dior Homme Sport, I don't have it. Where's the new Dior Homme? We'll go one by one, but Dior Homme Cologne is such a fantastic fragrance. No doubt about its smell. It's ice cool, sort of like a frozen lemonade, and it's just such a blessing to wear it in the high heat in the summer. Only downfall with this is that longevity and projection on me, not really beast mode. I do prefer Chanel's Allure Sport Cologne over this because that's much longer lasting, but nonetheless it is in the list. Okay, it's a very beautiful wearing, but it's a bit too overpriced for what this is. You can try Mercedes-Benz Cologne or Jimmy Choo Man Ice. There are a few other clones of this from Zara as well, but for sure, if you have the money, if you have the cash, you can get it. Amazing fragrance. Dior Homme Cologne, number 10. Number 9, check out my full-on review on all of these. Number 9 is a fragrance no one talks about, and I included in the list for a reason. This is called Dior's Dune. Okay, Dune Pour Homme. Very plain-looking bottle for a Dior, I must admit. This one doesn't look like a Dior bottle, isn't it? But this one reminds me of the movie, Dune. That movie, something about it. It's like a sci-fi action, right? And I really feel like Vin Diesel he sort of created this action hero figure like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or talk about Cobra, like Sylvester Stallone. They all have their huge persona. So I believe Vin Diesel is one of my favorite actors because of Fast and Furious, but also love Dune. This fragrance has that vibe. It has this kind of like a fig, very green, very uplifting and distinctive fig note. Very long lasting summer perfume for me, summer and perhaps springtime. But it also has this kind of like a dry vibe. There's some citrus, hints of citrus, but not much sweetness. So that's what, at first I tested it for 2 years. I'm like, nah, I'm not. I'm like, on the fence, like buy it or not buy it, because I don't really enjoy fig at my initial years. Then I fell in love with fig one fine day. This was the fragrance. Okay, try it out. It has this like a cool breeze in the desert, that sort of vibe with a hint of fig. Check it out, Dior's Dune Pour Homme, number 9. Number 8 is another discontinued fragrance. You can find this. You can find the cologne version of it, but I think this one, if you can find, it's worth every penny. This is called Aqua Fahrenheit. Okay, from the Fahrenheit line. This perfume right here, it's one of the best. Okay, for summer fragrance overall. What's so great about it? I think there's a grapefruit or some other note added to that original Fahrenheit. I love Fahrenheit. It's way up in the list, but this fragrance, sometimes I wear it, like the violet leaves, kind of like a mild It does still have that petroleum vibe, but just a hint. But it's more green, more citrusy, more watery. Think of like a more transparent Fahrenheit, and it has excellent longevity. That's why I think Aqua Fahrenheit, you should definitely hunt it down over Fahrenheit Cologne. Excellent fragrance with 125 ml bottle. That's number 8. Number 7 is that fragrance that many people will be a bit sad, because in some people's book, let's say big reviewers book, this is number 1. That fragrance would be Dior Homme Parfum. I have both bottles almost finished, but I'm showing you 2 bottles for a reason. If you can see the difference, one is bigger than the other, in terms of the size. This is the older version, 75 ml, I think, yeah, and this is the 100 ml, okay, the newer version. I have both, I love both, but the older version is a little bit stronger for some reason, but both are very beastly. So what Dior Homme Parfum does, it's down in the order for a reason, because I did not reach for it so much, okay. In my journey, I sort of decanted both the stuff. I used it only in winters, and I really needed the mood, because this is supremely potent, like if Dior Homme has an absolute version, this one I think is an absolute version. They could have called it absolute anyway, but Dior Homme Parfum is the least versatile in my humble opinion. But if you live in a colder country where it snows, this one can be higher up in the rank for sure. One of the best performing Dior's in my humble opinion. Dior Homme Parfum is number 7. Number 6 is one of my first Dior fragrances, and hard to believe I bought this. I bought Dior Homme Intense first, then I bought this. This fragrance still can be had, but I think they changed the formulation a little bit. It was never beast mode, but this is one of my favorite in terms of smell. Dior Eau Sauvage, okay, the EDT. They have a lot of other ones, the Cologne, they have the darker version. I think they have a few other versions, but I have one more in the lineup. But this is so nice, rosemary, lemon, beautiful lemon. Man, I just love how unique this fragrance is. If you smell it, I mean, you'll forget about the notes breakdown. It's just one of the best smelling, most posh Italian style fragrance for summer, okay. And I get decent longevity, but not a beast, okay. If you can find this, try Armani Eau Pure. Both of them are kind of similar, but this is better, okay. Dior Eau Sauvage EDT. So now, top 5. Those are first 5, last 5. Let's see what are the top 5s. And as I told you, always remember, these are my choices. It's not absolute, okay. Number 5 is the blue fragrance. Yes, it has to be in the list. Dior Sauvage. You can go with any Sauvage. I had EDP, EDT, Parfum, and I did review Elixir, but did not make the list. I have the bottle with me, but I didn't include it. I'll talk about it in the end. This is the very cool spray. I am enjoying this in the high situation because it feels a little bit more versatile in terms of smell. Added grapefruit gives that nice sort of sweetness, less pepper. It's just so nice. I just paid the same amount as I paid for Sauvage, and I got this. Some people feel like, hey, it's tin can, it feels cheap. You get that, but it's easily portable. You can carry it in your bag. It's not super heavy. Good. And the thing is, you just need hint of, you don't have to spray like head to toe. This one has the EDT performance. So definitely very long lasting and definitely more uplifting. And I think this is the cleanest version of Sauvage. So that's number 5. Very cool spray. You can go with any version. I'd say if you want the best version overall for whole year, EDT is the way to go. I have to get another bottle like this ones, the glass bottles. If you have EDT, you just need that one fragrance for whole year. But for summer, I prefer the cool spray. So number 4 is a fragrance I love a lot. It doesn't have so much power, and this is the older version of Dior Homme. This is such a beautiful creation, and this is the one that should get all the credit. Because of this, we have other ones. But I tell you one thing, this fragrance will never go out of style. Even if they stop producing this, I'll get backup bottles. It's just one of the best iris-based fragrance. It smells like that lipstick, and it's just so posh. It's just sweet. I think there's some other notes in there, but it's just a posh, luxurious smelling fragrance for autumn and spring. This is a fragrance I enjoy indoors. Okay, so that's number 4, Dior Homme, the older formulation. The newer formulation I don't have. Thinking to buy it, but not yet. Number 3, number 2, number 1. Number 3, my crown jewel, one of the fragrance I'm very happy to have. Luckily for me, I should have got a backup bottle back then when I had this. This is Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. This perhaps is not everybody's favorite. This is the least versatile fragrance in my collection, perhaps from Dior. This one of the nicest thing is that magnetic top, but the fragrance, man, Okay, first day I smelled it, I did not understand it. I'm like, what's the hype? Like, what's the hype about it? This one has some think citrus, perhaps. I forgot exactly. Like, yeah, maybe lemon. There's mar, and there's a vetiver or something like. I forgot exact notes breakdown, but this is a darker version of Eau Sauvage basically. This fragrance only works when it's cold, and it changes like from hour. Like second hour mark, it smells like something else. Third, fourth hour mark, you'll be like, who's wearing that perfume? You'll be like, if you do not know this fragrance, you'll get confused. And I think this is one of the best winter-based perfumes. The new one, the center one is white. It's also good, more versatile, but this actually is that potent. This is like the best, one of the best Dior fragrance ever for me. Okay, Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum, the old version. Now, battle between number 1 and number 2. It was very difficult for me to pick, but I went with my like the fragrance that I wore the most. Both this fragrance, number 2 and number 1, I wore a lot in my journey. I went through multiple bottles, okay, and I had different formulations. But number 2 today is one of my most favorite fragrances, hands down, most complimented perfumes, Dior Fahrenheit. Okay, it got beaten by number 1 for very sentimental reasons. That's it. But Dior Fahrenheit is the most modern, contemporary, creative, and I think a lot of thoughts went behind this fragrance. This is the most creative Dior fragrance, in my humble opinion, from the designer side. Why I say that? Because even if today, many reviewers would agree with me, many people would agree, if they made Dior Fahrenheit today and if they re-released it or released it as a brand new fragrance, it would be top seller. Not just from Dior, any house, if they made this DNA. So many clones, so many houses, they copied this trend. Leather, that gasoline, florals, violets, it has kind of like a vetiver also, I guess. This is my 2012 version, like old version. Man, this fragrance has so much of that petroleum. It got intensified over the years, almost like 10 years, right? But the newer version is a little bit more floral compared to the gasoline vibe. But number 2 is Fahrenheit, nonetheless, one of the best fragrances from Dior. Number 1, if you know me, this fragrance defines me. I have so many bottles, but I just noticed, a bit scared to say that my bottles are running low. Like, I'll get 150 ml once again. I have 150 ml somewhere here. That's a new formulation, but I'm showing you my 2014, I think, or 14 or 15, I forgot. Dior Homme Intense number 1 today. If you know me by now, this one beats Dior Homme Parfum by far because of the versatility. This is a complete fragrance. You don't need Dior Homme Parfum. This one performs plenty. I mean, I don't enjoy that animalic oud or leather, whatever is in Dior Homme Parfum. This one minuses it. Means this one has the best possible combination in Dior Homme Intense. It got the performance, it got the smell, it got the iris, I think got cocoa, I think a little bit of mild leather. And let me just put a little bit, just for memory's sake. I just sparingly use this because after this, very difficult to find these formulations. Awesome spray, and these are some of the best looking bottles ever. Man, the richness of it, just if you find a new version, you get it. Like I have the newer bottle style. You can see Dior Homme, it's written here. If you find these are a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more citrusy, and these are not bad. These are also long lasting. If you let it sit in your collection, they'll last long. But these fragrances are a lot more versatile. This one, I feel, if heat is a bit higher, this fragrance, perhaps it will be a bit choking. But evening, oh man, in Malaysia, I wore from my small bottle. It just lasts. Anything will just disappear, but Dior Homme Intense own. That's why, so many reasons, sentimental reasons. I went everywhere with it. It smells rich, luxurious, one of the best fragrances ever Dior made. Dior Homme Intense number 1. So what are your favorite Dior fragrance from designer side? Do let others know. Do let me know. Any other fragrance like Dior Higher or Dior Sport, if I again find, I'll reshuffle. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.